Hello, dear viewers, you are on the channel Life Cucumber Brick. Good mood to you, and enjoy listening. Mark, where are you? We were going to go see the cafe today. Hannah, I can't make it today. Well, how come? I'm off work, aren't I? There was some fussing on the phone, and then Mark said loudly, I'll call you back. Anna, swallowing her tears, staggered home. Mark had been strange for the past 2 weeks, thinking about something, answering out of place. Anna had asked him so many times what was wrong, but always got the same answer. Why did something have to happen? Everything is fine with me, don't worry your head. Anna was worried. Anna was nervous. The wedding was a month and a half away, and Mark was like some kind of stranger. She dialed the number of Bella, her best friend, who was to be a witness at their wedding. Bella, hi. Maybe we can meet. I need to talk to someone. Anna sobbed. Bella said immediately, Yes, okay, let's meet in an hour at our cafe. Anna sighed in relief. Bella always knew what to do in any situation. Bella, she was so pushy, not like Anna. Her friend would explain everything, and Anna would calm down. She was the only one with whom she could be completely frank. They met Bella at a ski competition. Bella was competing for one of the schools, and Anna was like a field nurse there. She had been training for so long. She had a real medical suitcase, though there was nothing in it except bandages, bubble wrap, and headache pills. Anna strutted along the finish line, which was also the start, looking at Richard, the boy in their class for whom she had gone to the race, and did not even notice that a girl on skis was standing beside her, watching her mockingly. Then that girl said, I bet I'll make your prince in a heartbeat. Anna turned sharply to her. Richard, yes, never in the world. I bet your Richard isn't an athlete. Everyone's warming up, and he's showing off for the girls. Anna looked at the boy carefully. He was considered the best in school, handsome, an athlete, and in general, a smart guy. Everyone was in love with him. Anna, of course, was no exception. Everyone dreamed that one day Richard would pay attention only to her, but he loved only himself. No one but himself, the beautiful one. Of course, Anna understood this, but after all, she wanted to believe in the dream. Richard was perfect, probably perfect. The girl, who was on skis, pushed off easily and ended up next to Richard. He looked condescendingly at her and sighed wearily. So many groupies. Well, let's do the 500 meters on a dare, shall we? Richard's eyebrows went up. He was a good skier, of course, but he hadn't had much time to practice lately, and that was not what he had expected from the new girl. She looked at him mockingly. Anna froze, clasping her hands against her chest. Something told her that now her idol would fall from the pedestal. The other girls also looked at him expectantly. That's the last thing she needed. Wasting time on people like you. You mean you're afraid? The girls whispered, and Richard realized that now he could be very hurt. He nodded. Okay, I'll give you a head start. He nodded. Okay, I'll give you a head start. He said it so contemptuously that Bella, who was actually Bella, burst out laughing. She did not get the distance, but left Igor far behind in the middle of the race. When he came to the finish, he snapped at her with such words that all the girls immediately dispersed and went to look for other idols. Anna sat down next to Bella. Why did you do that to him? Annoying. You're drooling. If only there were someone to drool over. Anna did not take offense. She, in general, was not able to take offense, just smiled and extended her hand. Hannah, I'm from the 48th school. Bella, I'm from the 18th. That's very close. Well, yes, I live on Zelenaya in the 3rd house. And I'm also on Zelenaya, but in 42nd house. From that day on, they became friends. After school, Anna went to study nursing, and Bella went to study design. But the girls did not lose touch. They often met and talked a lot. It was Bella who was the first to know that Anna had Sergiosa and that Mark proposed to her. But when Anna told her about the proposal, Bella acted strangely. Not that she was happy about it, but it was as if she was angry. "Bella, what are you doing? Aren't you happy for me?" Bella quickly looked at her friend and said, "I'm sorry. I'm so used to us always being together. And now that you're going to be a wife, all this will not be." Anna almost cried. She was sitting in a cafe, waiting for her friend. Bella had a habit of being late. She was always late. At last she saw her at the door and waved, but then she froze. Together with Bella came Mark. Anna smiled, reaching for him. "Mark, how did you know? Did you happen to meet Bella?" Mark pulled away, not giving himself a kiss. Not by chance. Anna looked at one or the other at a loss. Then Bella spoke. "Anna, you have to understand us. When we met Mark, we understood that that's it. You know, we were made for each other. I'm sorry, I don't understand." Mark looked at her. "Anna, don't you start. It happens, you know, but we can't decide everything ourselves." Anna slowly got up and walked to the exit of the cafe. She hardly saw where she was going. She just knew she had to step. She hadn't gone to class in a week. Her mother then threatened, "If you don't get it together, if you keep lying there like a vegetable, I'll call a psychiatrist." "Anna, my daughter, no man is worth such suffering, especially one who did such a mean thing." Anna pulled herself together. She applied tons of foundation, just so no one would notice the black circles under her eyes and the white with a bluish hue of her skin. 7 years had passed since then. Anna immediately changed her Says I Am card. She stopped communicating with common acquaintances and gradually got others. Life seemed to be getting better, but Anna felt terribly lonely. When she was 22 years old, her mother became very ill. At first, she just caught a cold, refused to go to the doctor. Then she got worse and worse. When Anna forcibly sent her to the hospital, the doctors threw up their hands. Anna only blamed herself. She's a medical professional and a nurse, but how could she have missed it? Because she was constantly preoccupied with her own worries. After her mother's funeral, it became unbearable. It didn't work out with men. Anna literally shunned them. In order not to stay at home all the time, she walked a lot around the city, in the park. In general, anywhere not to be alone. Today was Anna's day off. She washed everything in the apartment, then looked at her watch. Okay, it was only 1 o'clock in the afternoon. What to do next? She tried to watch TV, but all the programs were full of crap. Anna resolutely went into the hallway to get dressed. The weather, of course, was not good, but she could not sit at home either. There was a piercing wind blowing outside. Even cold drops were coming down from the sky. Autumn was struggling with winter, not wanting to give in, but winter was coming. She had not yet reached the park when she realized that she was terribly cold. The last thing she needed was to get sick. There was a drugstore in front of Anna. She decided to go in and buy some powders to drink before she went to bed. It was noisy inside. Anna didn't immediately understand what was going on. Then she saw a little boy who was clutching boxes of medicine in his dirty hands. The pharmacist yelled at him, "If you don't have enough for the medicine, don't take it. And anyway, why are you without adults? Do they not know that you do not have enough money?" The boy looked with hunted eyes at the shouting woman. He was badly dressed, not according to the weather, and dirty. "Auntie, don't swear, please. I'll get it. I'll definitely get it. I really need it. I'm going to call the police and have them hand you over to the guardianship." Anna resolutely stepped forward. "I'll pay for it. How much do you need?" The boy looked at her hopefully. Thank you, Auntie. He went quickly to the exit, but Anna, throwing the money on the counter, rushed after him. Let me walk you out. The boy looked at her. What for? Well, actually, I work at the hospital. Do you have someone sick? Yes, Thomas. I know this medicine will help him. Who's Thomas? He's my dog. He and I usually go to church together. What for? Well, to ask for money. Anna looked at the boy with horror. How could it be? Why doesn't the child care center take care of him? What is this all about? Do you have parents? My mom is gone. She died, but my dad does. Only he forgets that he has me. Anna did not ask how it is so. He forgets. For some reason, she immediately thought that the boy's father drinks. They approached a small house. So that's what it's all about. The boy and his father live in the private sector. If it was in an apartment, the neighbors must have sounded the alarm then. They went in. The smell of overbreath, dirt and dust hit their noses right away. Over here, there was a little shaggy dog lying on the dirty bed. He wasn't eating, and he was sad. Anna stroked the dog and noticed that his leg was swollen. She carefully took it in her hands. The little doggy shrieked softly, but did not remove his paw. A glass paw protruded between his pads, and it must have been there for a long time, because everything around it was swollen. Give me some water. Now we'll help your Thomas. Anna carefully took the glass out, rinsed his paw, and bandaged it up. Thomas immediately cheered up, and the boy handed her the medicine. Here, you paid for them. You can have them then. I don't need them. There was a sound in the room, as if a chair had fallen. The boy sighed. Daddy woke up. In confirmation, a man appeared on the threshold of the room. He looked around the room with a hazy look and hiccuped. Simon, get me a drink. Who have you got there? Anna went pale, stood up, approached the man. For a few seconds, she looked at him, and he at her. Then the man stepped back. Hannah, she exhaled. Mark. It was him, dirty, downcast. Mark cried at once. Why are you looking at me like that? Yes, it's hard for me. Bella is dead. I'm alone with the baby. I got kicked out of work. Hannah uttered. You think I'm going to feel sorry for you now? No, you're a sissy. You are not worthy to be called a human being. Do you feel sorry for yourself? Have you thought about the child? You know he's begging so he won't starve to death. Mark, what's the matter with you? She turned to Simon, who was looking at her frightened. Pack up, stay with me for a few days. You shouldn't be around someone like that. And Thomas. Mark watched as she packed up the boy and was silent. Only the knuckles on his clenched fists turned white. When Anna washed both Thomas and Simon at home, she was surprised at how much the boy looked like Mark. My heart ached at once. Yes, she was a fool, but there was nothing she could do about it. Only now she admitted to herself that all these years she had loved the man who had wiped his feet on her. She called work, said she was sick, and sat down across from Simon, who was asleep. What should we do now? She understood Simon can't go to his father. He would die there, but to give the boy to an orphanage was to make things worse. 5 days later, the doorbell rang. Anna, who was just frying pancakes for Simon and laughing at the way the boy was playing with Thomas, went to open the door. On the doorstep stood Mark. He was completely sober and didn't even seem to be drunk. Clean-shaven, clean clothes too, though rather worn. May I? Anna stepped back. Well, come in. Simon jumped out into the hallway. When he saw that his father was sober, he hung about his neck. Daddy, Daddy, I missed you so much. Mark held his son close to him and did not let him go for a long time. I'm sorry, Simon, such a fool your daddy is. Anna set the table. She knew that Mark was likely to take Simon away, and everything in her resisted it. "Well, what are you going to do?" "I'm going to look for work in the morning. I've cleaned the house, washed everything, thrown everything out, everything unnecessary. Simon needs to go to training, next year's school. Anyway, I have to fix what I've done." Anna looked sadly into her cup. "Will you take him away?" "But he's in your way, isn't he? You have a job to do. You've done so much for us already. You know, it's like you kicked me in the head. I remember what I was, and I don't like what I've become." "Anna," she looked up at Himmy's. "Anna, I know there's no forgiveness for me, but forgive me. Just forgive me. I don't mean anything by it. After 6 months of being with Bella, I realized what I had done. She was nice, but she was too much of a stud. I was getting really tired of her, and then Simon came along. I really loved him." Anna put her hand on his palm. "No need, Mark, all that was a long time ago. You don't have to." He suddenly pressed her to his lips and closed his eyes. "It's been a little less than a year, but are you ready?" "Yes, Daddy." An important Simon came out of the room, followed by a smiling Anna. Simon was in a suit with a bouquet of flowers. Mark gasped. "Oh my goodness, I didn't recognize you. Come on, we'll be late." Simon gave the bouquet of flowers to his father and took Nina and him by the hand, and they walked all the way to school. When Simon got up with his classmates, Mark hugged Anna. "Wife, have I told you that you are the most beautiful girl I have ever had?" "No, you didn't today." Mark smiled. "You are the most beautiful one I have. I will love you and Simon always." Anna sighed. "It won't work, me and Simon." Mark looked at her in surprise. "Don't you understand?" Anna whispered something to him, and Mark shrieked. His parents looked at him disapprovingly, and Mark put his hand on Anna's stomach. "Hi, I will love you all." If you liked the story, please support me with the thumbs up button. It's only one action for you, but it's very important to me. All the best.